Welcome to Aesthetic Talk Podcast with your hosts, Amber and Angelina. Two newly licensed estheticians trying to pursue their dreams in this industry. On this podcast, they don't want to limit the conversation to just aesthetics. They're here to talk about it all, business and pleasure, the ups and the downs. If there's a topic you want them to discuss and bear all to you, you've come to the right place. Now grab your favorite glass of wine or water and let's talk. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, guys, for tuning into our last episode and getting to know us a little bit more. So for this episode, our second episode, we're going to be getting to the topics. So the topic for today is skincare tips for you. So Amber, do you want to kick us off?
Hi, guys. So the first topic I'm going to talk about today is double cleansing. Now, if you're in the industry or just if you've seen a professional skincare provider, typically they're going to talk to you about double cleansing. So that means washing your face twice. No, you do not have to use two different cleansers. However, it's totally recommended. The point for double cleansing is when I'm explaining it to my clients is I'll say sometimes like, so do you ever wash your face and then you'll go in with a toner and then on that toner pad, you look at it and you're like, why is there like brown stuff still like on my toner when I just washed my face? So essentially that I feel like is why we like to double cleanse. Because it just guarantees that all of the dirt, the oil, and the makeup and the skincare that you put on throughout that day is off and it's giving your skin a clean slate. There are also some people who even do a triple cleanse. Candice Marino, she's also known by Hollywood as the LA Facialist. She's a California medical esthetician. She's been doing that for over a decade. She has developed custom complexion protocols and unique techniques for her celebrity clientele. She is the one who came up with the triple cleanse. And that is going to guarantee that you are clean. You just want to make sure that you're not using stripping cleansers. So if you ever feel like you are squeaky clean and your face feels tight right after you wash your face, chances are that it's probably the wrong cleanser for you. I feel like more often than not that happens with gel cleansers. So always seek a professional and ask them for some guidance. And because they will set you up on the right cleanser for you. Typically, if you are a drier or more mature person, you're going to want to use a cream cleanser. Whereas if you're oily and more congested, I feel like gel cleansers typically work a little bit better for you. Personally, for me, I have dry skin, so I really like to use cream cleansers first as my double cleanse. I always use SkinScript's pomegranate cleanser, or recently I've actually changed to Glymed Plus's Mega Purifying Cream Cleanser. It's their number one cleanser that helps remove makeup. So that's kind of why I've made the shift. There are some days where I'll use my cream cleanser 2 times, and then I'll go in with a treatment cleanse. So I'm doing the triple cleanse and I didn't even know it. Or those are mainly on the days where I feel like if you're wearing a lot of makeup and you have a lot on your face and you are struggling to get it off, one cleanse is never going to be enough.
Facts.
Yeah, it's literally so true. But even though I have dry, sensitive skin, I still, for my treatment cleanser, will go in with the Glycolic Cleanser from SkinScript. And that is a 17% glycolic cleanser. It has arbutin and kojic acid, which also help to lighten, brighten your skin and minimize the look of pores, which a lot of people, I feel like, are looking for that. But yeah, that's essentially, I feel like, the biggest skincare tip that will really help you by getting all of that buildup off of your face.
I definitely feel like that is number one, because how else are you gonna keep your skin nice if you're not cleansing it properly? You can't do the rest of your routine if you're not cleansing properly. What I use, like you said, I use the glycolic as well, so I'll use that every other day. My skin is more oily, so really like everything is good for my skin, honestly. Like I can't go wrong because it's not sensitive ever. I mean, unless I'm using super drying products, but the glycolic is really good. I'll use that every other day, like I said. But for a double cleanse, a lot of times I like to use an oil cleanse, especially when I'm wearing makeup. So it's usually, I typically do that at night, rather than like, I don't double cleanse in the morning because you don't really need to. You've already done your routine the prior night. And you just cleanse.
Exactly.
But I'll do an oil cleanse for makeup because I feel like it gets your makeup off the best and it really soaks into your pores and pulls it all out. Love the double cleanse.
Oh yeah, it's literally so good. Even the triple cleanse.
I haven't tried that, but maybe sometimes I have actually when I'm
without even thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure. Like micellar water or something. So to back off of that, I'm gonna say the second probably best thing that you can do for your skincare routine is wear SPF.
Definitely.
There's literally, if you're not wearing SPF, then like your skin is, there's going to be so many damaging factors to your skin. You can get sun damage, obviously, those are obvious reasons, but you can also get a lot of hyperpigmentation. And 90% of aging is caused by the sun. And people don't really like, that's a lot. That's a huge percentage of aging. And why would you want that? And especially us young people, I think it's really cool that we're getting into skincare really young because you don't want to start putting on SPF when you're 40 already, because chances are,
even if you do, it's still okay.
It's great, but it's better to prevent it. But at the same time, when you're, because when you're 40, I mean, you already have damaged your skin if you haven't been using it. So it's really good to start young, but like you said, everybody needs it. Even if you're just now starting and you're 50, it's still important.
Exactly.
Another thing I want to say about the SPF is that it's good for everybody, and a lot of people don't know that. All skin colors, everybody, it doesn't matter what Fitzpatrick you are, you can still get sun damage, you can still get hyperpigmentation, and if you have acne, SPF is also gonna help you, because if not, then your acne scarring and all of that, it's gonna make it worse. SPF definitely. All the way,
all day, every day, reapply every 2 hours. Add on that a little bit. When you're looking at SPF, a lot of SPF will say, oh, SPF is in your moisturizer. That doesn't cut it. No. It really doesn't. You need to be applying a topical SPF the last step of your skincare.
Right.
And you want to make sure it's UVA and UVB, because we've talked about this before. I know I tell people, like, you don't even think about like the blue light that's damaging our skin like every day, because we're so in such a digital age where we're always in front of like our computers or our laptops or whatever it is. And people are like, oh, well, I don't leave my house, I don't need to put on SPF. And I'm like, okay, well, are you watching TV? Are you on your cell phone? Like I have a screen protector on my phone that's actually like, it helps with blue light, and it kind of makes the picture, the colors of my phone change a little bit, but I'm like, I don't care because it's protecting me. I don't know how great it works, but I'm like, I believe in it. And then like the blue light lenses that people have to protect their eyes. Whenever I go get my glasses, my prescription, I always ask for blue light lenses, because I know that
me too.
That strains our eyes. And you just want to make sure that you have, you know, a physical or chemical sunscreen protecting you
all year round. Yep. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if you're sitting in front of a window and you're indoors, they still come in from the window. So it doesn't matter. And people think that they can get away with that by not using SPF because, I'm not going to really be outdoors that much. It doesn't matter. You have to wear SPF all day, every day.
Yeah. And I feel like when we went to school, there was a picture that it's kind of like viral, I feel like, in the esthetician world. And it's the truck drivers, how truck drivers on the left side of their face from driving will have like hyperpigmentation, sun damage, more extreme wrinkles, fine lines, and all of that because just that side from
that
one
driving, side. Yeah,
exactly. So I even noticed myself, I have like my smile line, which isn't as bad as others. It's worse on my left side of my face. I'm like, at first I thought it was because I was sleeping on that side, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure, like, I've driven 20 minutes in the summertime and gotten a sunburn. And that's what I wasn't wearing SPF. So it's super important to be wearing it
sometimes one of
all the
your
time.
arms, one of your arms will be darker than the other because that's the arm that you're like driving
Exactly.
with, and it's like right there. Yeah.
I feel like people don't think about it. They're like, oh my God, I'm tan, love it. But really it's like sun damage.
But exactly. And a lot of clients that come in wanting like anti-aging, like, you know, to fix their wrinkles or pigmentation or acne, I mean, sunspots. The main thing that you can tell them is you have to, like, I can do a treatment today and we can probably do a couple series of treatments, but if you're not using SPF and you're not double cleansing,
right,
then, you know,
if you're not washing your face at the end of the night. Yeah, exactly. I think that's like almost like the minimalist skincare that they talk about. Like you need to wash your face, put on
moisturize
SPF.
and SPF.
Yeah.
Those are the three things, honestly, that, I mean, and exfoliation is important too, but I feel like those three things are definitely top tier.
The minimus. Yeah. So the next topic I'm going to mention, next tip, is going to be facial cupping. So it is an effective holistic practice that can lead to more of a lifted and sculpt radiant complexion. This practice specifically is originated from traditional Chinese medicine, and nowadays it has evolved to more of a therapeutic practice. So people are like, what is facial cupping? You've heard of like the back cupping, and people get bruises all over their face. That's not what this is. It's a little bit different. So essentially it's still going to be a suction cup that you're going to glide across your skin. So you want to be careful when you are doing this because you can get hickeys from it if it's not done properly. And nobody wants that. You want to go in slow upward and outward movements. And so what this does is it's going to essentially help with lymphatic drainage. It boosts circulation, reduces muscle tension, brightens the skin, decreases puffiness, and also lifts and sculpts your face. You never want to do this on like a dry face because you're not going to get the glide that you want. You want to do it with some type of oil on, because otherwise it's going to skip across people's faces and we don't want hickeys. So another facial tool that I'm obsessed with, if you follow me at all on my social media, is using ice globes. So cold therapy is one of my favorites. So a while ago, I bought those Fresher, I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure, the ice globes. Mine are the blue ones. I'm literally obsessed with them. They're very relaxing. They help relieve like headaches, sinus tension, helps depuff the skin. So it has very similar benefits to the facial cupping, but I feel like it's a little bit more anti-inflammatory and helpful for the skin. Definitely. It's also super relaxing to literally just do and put it over your face. You're going to go in the same upward and outward movements. Whenever you're doing movements on your face, you always want to go upward because you don't want to potentially create premature aging by tugging down on your skin. You want to keep everything flowing up. But I love the ice globes. They're absolutely my favorite. And then the last thing I'm going to touch base on with this that I feel like kind of flows into the same thing is gua sha. So I know a lot of people have seen like the gua sha, the rose gold, not rose gold, the rose quartz or the jade. I'm like, I don't know what I'm thinking. Crystals, it's fine, same ballpark. And this is also, you know, Chinese medicine where it's helping in lymphatic drainage. It helps lift the face. Like I've seen videos where people will literally work on one side of their face and there's a significant difference. But yeah, gua sha is one of my favorites. We definitely use those in the treatment room all the time. It's wonderful, wonderful massage. And you can also do these at home. That's what makes it so cool. Like you don't need to go see us in the treatment room. You just need to make sure you buy the right tools and you can do it yourself. Those are my favorite tools to use to help, you know, detoxify the skin.
Yeah. I love the like you said, the cold rollers. I think those are my favorite, because like I experienced acne sometimes, and like those inflamed acne, it's really good to do a cold roller over that. Like we were talking about earlier, how I've been getting this inflamed acne on my skin right now. So yeah, I think it's really, really good to just like soothe those, and just to kind of minimize that inflammation in those acne.
Yeah, inflammation is the first thing you want to treat when it comes to, you know, your face and how everything is. So the sooner you get the inflammation down, the better, honestly. And those really, all of them help to detoxify the skin and, you know, lower that inflammation.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is less of a tip, but more of like something that you should just know about your skin, because a lot of people come in and they're complaining about pore size. I want my pores to not be as visible, as noticeable. I want them to shrink. I feel like they're really big. And unfortunately, it's not possible. You can't shrink your pores. Pores aren't muscles. So they don't open and close. That's not true. The whole myth about the cold versus warm water to open and close your pores is false. So the reason why we use steam is because it's going to loosen up the buildup that's in those pores and rise it to the surface, so that it's easier for exfoliation. It's easier for extractions and stuff like that. But the steam doesn't open your pores up or close them, or whatever the case may be. That's not true. So what I want to say is your pores can expand and get enlarged by not properly, you know, exfoliating, not properly cleansing, like we talked about. It can increase your pore size. But so the best way to prevent that from happening is to make sure you're doing a double cleanse, make sure you're using the right stuff, make sure you're exfoliating, and make sure you're going to your esthetician regularly and getting extractions and all of those things. And that's the only way that you're really going to prevent your pores from becoming stretched out from the buildup.
Yeah. I feel like it's very common in men who are a little bit older, who don't care about their skin, who they grew up, you know, the working class men who grew up working at like the mills out here, the mechanics. I know my dad,
I was just going to say,
speaking, you know, working on these cars and constantly having grease and oil all around him, the fumes in the air, the pollution in the air, and then his nose, he would never get them clean. So the pores on his nose are really enlarged, and there's literally nothing we could do because he's let them grow out for so long.
I mean, you can make them look better.
Yeah,
like
we could get them better.
We're saying,
but they're
not going to shrink.
Yeah, no, I'm like, and especially if you don't make the time, at least monthly, to like get that facial, to get that out after you've already created such big pores.
Yeah. And also another thing that I was seeing while I was doing some research on pore sizes and stuff like that, when you age, as you age, your pores increase, your pore size increases. Also, some other things that can make your pores bigger is if you have oily skin. So your skin, mostly in the T-zone, your pores would just be a little bit more enlarged, and that's just like normal. So what you want to do for that is just make sure that you're regulating your oil production by using the right products.
Definitely.
But yeah,
like, don't think that if you go get a treatment from an esthetician, your pores are going to disappear, because the second you put on your foundation or makeup later on in that day, and you don't put a primer on that helps minimize pores, which essentially is going to like fill in those pores, then those pores are going to be there.
Texture is real. Everybody has texture.
Literally, everyone has texture. Pores are normal, texture is normal. But we try our best, you know,
and
to get you.
I want to say something, not to get off the topic, but I want to say something. I know we're estheticians, and I feel like I've told people I'm an esthetician before, and they're like, oh, then your skin must be nice. That's not true. We all have skin problems. We all have enlarged pores sometimes. We all have acne sometimes. Like we're normal. We have skin. It happens. So
it's the largest living organism. So to keep it healthy, it's not easy. You know, we try our best.
Thanks.
We have stress that we deal with. Another important tip, I feel like, if you're a girl or if you're a guy, it doesn't matter, but is cleaning your makeup brushes. And that also means cleaning your hands before you ever touch your face or put anything on your face, skincare or makeup. You want to stay sanitary. I have a fun fact for you guys, and it's that damp hands spread 1,000 times more bacteria than dry hands. I thought that was super intriguing because I feel like a lot of the times people talk about like, oh, don't store your food in damp areas. They harbor moisture and bacteria.
Damp.
Yeah. And then in 7 hours, one bacteria on your hand can generate 2,970,152 bacteria. And that's just from one bacteria. So like put that into perspective of all the different bacteria that are on your hand and how fast they multiply. Like it's literally insane. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Like I feel like everyone's like, oh, don't touch your face with COVID. Like maybe it's the slap in the face that everyone needed to like think, oh, okay, I'm not going to touch my face. I'm not going to pick my face, because I know a lot of people will pick their face. And I tell them, okay, if you know you're going to pick your face, try to at least wash and sanitize your hands before you do it. Because if you're going to do it, you know you're going to do it. Just be clean about it, because the bacteria that are on our fingers is like crazy. Not all of it's bad. You know, there's good bacteria too. You know, we need it, but you just have to think about the potential harm that you're causing by picking at something and then spreading that bacteria all over your face. Like I'm grateful for myself that I'm not a picker. Like I don't really pick in my face. Like I'll get like a whitehead and then I'll like extract it kind of like properly. But I don't really like pick at my face. I just let it do its thing and run its course. Thank God. But I just wanted to touch base on that because like sanitary problems are real. And like if you're clean, then you'll have less problems ultimately.
Yeah. Another thing I will say, since you said that about the hands, because like we cleanse our face with our hands. Make sure you're washing your face before you cleansing your face. But also if you're using a towel,
oh yeah,
make sure that towel is clean, because towels are obviously, if you've just used it and you're going to use it again the next day or that same night, it was just wet. You know, you moisturize, you cleanse your face with it already. It was just wet. Then you left it. It's probably, I couldn't imagine how much bacteria could be on that thing.
Yeah.
You know, if we were looking under a microscope, it would probably be crawling with bacteria that you can't see, obviously. So just those little things that you need to like keep into consideration when you're going to clean your face.
Definitely.
Because you can't see it. So how would you know? Like, but you just got to know. You just got to think before you do stuff. With that being said, I also want to veer off into the exfoliation, which is a very, very important step. And I'm going to start by saying, since you were just talking about bacteria, I'm going to start by saying a lot of people use those bristle brushes, the scrub brushes that have the bristles. Those harbor so much bacteria that you couldn't even imagine. And they're really, really harsh for your skin. So a better way, more hygienic way is to use a silicone scrubber. It's more gentle. It's 100 times less bacteria because it's instant dry almost, because it's not like bacteria. It's not, they're not going to harbor bacteria. It's just completely different surfaces, and there's no little tiny crevices that can harbor bacteria. Chemical exfoliation is suitable for all skin types.
Yeah.
Chemical exfoliations are enzymes, AHAs, BHAs, which means alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids. Those are honestly my favorite way to exfoliate is going to be the chemical exfoliation all the way. Yeah. I love a good dermaplane though. Yeah. But other than that, like a daily exfoliation or weekly exfoliation is definitely the chemical.
Yeah. I'm like, one of the ones that we sell at work is going to be the mint poppy seed polish. It's by Sorella, and we really like that one. We use it in the treatment room sometimes, and it is a chemical and manual exfoliation because it has those poppy seeds, which are going to help like break everything up. But then you can also leave it on your face as like a exfoliating mask because it has the AHAs, the alpha hydroxy acids, and it just helps to like resurface and rejuvenate your skin. But yeah, that's one of the ones that I really like that we have at work. And then with the silicone brushes, I have one, I know you have one as well. I have one from Biotherapeutic. I think it's called the Skin Sonic, and it's antimicrobial, antibacterial, and it's made of like a blue azulene material that's like super sanitary. Obviously, you still have to clean it properly, which is important with any device that you use and you're using on multiple people. And then I remember when I was younger, I would use the Clarisonic. I bought it because everyone was talking about it. I remember I begged my mom for Christmas, oh, I want the orange one. It's so cute. And I literally had to get like the sensitive skin type. And still, even after I used that head on my face, it was like my skin, I remember it being like squeaky clean. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. I love it. My skin's so clean. But like looking back on it, I'm like, that's literally terrible for your skin. It's literally so bad.
I mean, they do make your skin feel good, but it's probably stripping all of that natural oils that you need in your skin and just probably making things worse and spreading bacteria. Who wants to do that?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite like chemical exfoliation that you use?
So like we were talking about earlier, glycolic acid is 100% my favorite. It's good for, like you were saying, it's good for aging. It's good for acne. It's good for everything. And it's good for like sensitive skin. People can use it. The only type of people that can't use it is people with rosacea. You don't want to use glycolic, but the Skin Script Glycolic Cleanser is what I use every other day. And like you said, it has the arbutin, all of that. So it's also great for brightening and sunspots, pigmentation, everything. I love glycolic acid. And lactic and mandelic are another two of my favorite alpha hydroxy acids, or good fruit enzyme. We use those in the treatment room all the time.
Yeah, I love the coconut papaya enzyme from Skin Script. I feel like it's super hydrating to the skin, and it's for more sensitive skin, dry skin, mature skin, which is what I have. And my skin always feels amazing after that. And you can still, like, I know I was experimenting a little bit and I used a cherry enzyme, which is a little bit stronger. That one has I think it's like 5% lactic acid, 5% mandelic, and then 2% arbutin and kojic as well. So it helps hydrate the skin, retexturize the skin, lighten and brighten, which is great. But that enzyme, I'm pretty sure, is like the furthest I can go, because I tried I think it was the blueberry enzyme, which is like their second or third strongest enzyme. And it literally,
it's a 5 tingle. I remember that.
Yeah, it stripped my skin, and my skin was.
I love that one.
See, and you have oily skin, so it's great for you. But if you have dry skin and you try to use these chemicals, and enzymes that you should not be using that are not for your skin, you will not reap the benefits. I was like, my skin started breaking out. It was dry and it was flaky and it wasn't cute. So you definitely have to be careful with skin. Exactly. Like, just because somebody is using a really strong chemical on their skin does not mean that it's meant for you. Yeah. And I learned that through experiment. It was so bad.
The good thing about that is that our clients aren't going to be able to get a really strong fruit enzyme. There is still fruit enzymes in certain products, but you're not going to get one that's going to be super, super damaging. But you still have to be careful of the AHAs and BHAs that you're using, because they're not suitable for everybody. And you got to really know which ones. Yeah. Because you can desensitize your skin and cause problems.
Yeah, because I feel like with the trend of The Ordinary, that everyone's using AHA, BHA, that serum the red serum that everyone puts on their skin because it's famous on TikTok. I'm like, if somebody with dry skin goes to put that on there and they are not like acclimated to using active ingredients, you're just going to wreak havoc, and it's like not good. And they're like, oh, it's only $7. I'm going to try it. Okay, well, $7, you're not paying, like, you're paying for essentially like ruining your skin. Like you can get chemical burns from that stuff if it's not properly
every
done.
skin tip is for everybody. That's
Yeah.
what people need to understand with when you're looking at these tips online.
Right.
Not everything is going to work for everybody. You can't do that. Like
Except these ones. I feel like these work for everyone.
Right. Well, we're telling them the right way.
Yeah. Like this is how you do it. This is how
we're
you
licensed.
do
We get
it.
to make these rules.
Yeah, that's how that works. We're not like the influencers that claim to know
We actually
skincare,
went
but
to
really
school
don't.
for this.
Right. And it's more than just going to school, honestly, because we could have license, but it's about like the education that we are doing like every day. I know I'm trying to learn something every day. Like about all these product lines so I can be educated, except drugstore products. I don't educate myself on that at all. So don't ask me. That. No, like don't ask me. If I can't do a professional login, I don't want it. Literally.
Right.
Like
I
if you
think
have
the knowledge that we have now is 100% more than we had when we graduated.
Yeah. And there's still literally so much to learn. It's literally insane. Exfoliation is super important. And you definitely want to make sure you're not over exfoliating, because some people don't even realize the ingredients, like their serums. Like just because you have a serum and you're not physically exfoliating doesn't mean you're not exfoliating your skin. Like if you have those AHAs or those BHAs in your serum, you need to make sure you're not over exfoliating, you know?
Right.
Like that's super important, because some people are like, oh, well, okay, the third step is exfoliation. So if I'm not exfoliating today, then it's fine. But I'm going to put this serum on that is like jam-packed full of AHAs, you know?
Right.
And all the acids.
Because a lot of my serums, and like we said, the Glycolic Cleanser, it is a cleanser, but it's also exfoliation, because there's so many different acids in that one, which is why you don't want to use it every day. It's not suitable for every day. It's every other day, usually at night. But then there's, like you said, serums. I use a Mandelic serum, and it's a serum, but it still is going to exfoliate in some way. I was going to say something. Oh, so what you just said reminded me that I never said that you're not going to exfoliate every day. You do not want to exfoliate every day. That is going to over exfoliate your skin. Exfoliation is something that you want to do 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. It just depends on your skin.
Definitely.
So yeah.
Like I really only exfoliate. Well, I use serums, so
that's what I was gonna say. I
often.
don't. Yeah.
Especially as you get older, that cellular turnover like slows down. So you need to be using these serums to get that new fresh skin, to fight the really good lines, wrinkles, to fight the acne. You know, it's super important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So talking about skincare, I think the next thing I want to talk about is something that one of my favorite estheticians talks about all the time. And it's the Dallas esthetician. If you don't know her, you should follow her. She's super smart and educated, and she's literally 23 years old, and she's so successful. But she always talks about HOEs. That's what she calls them. So it's Humectants, Occlusives, and Emollients. Which are super important to maintaining a healthy skin and skin barrier, because you don't want to be using products that strip your skin barrier, because then you literally have to start over from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is going to be humectants. So a lot of people are going to be familiar with this. It's hyaluronic acid, super important ingredient. It helps bind water to the skin. It is very popular. Another one is glycerin. You see those 2 ingredients, I feel like, in a lot of moisturizing skincare. They'll make those claims. Specifically with the ones that I use are going to be Skin Script's Ageless Skin Serum. That one's great. It's what I started with, and then now I'm kind of like bumping my skincare regimen up to Glymed Plus, which is, you know, both of them are awesome and both of them will help you. But Glymed had a sale, so I took advantage of it. So what I use now is the Ultra Hydro Gel, and it's been like a new favorite of mine. I
want to try that one.
It's so good. I feel like everyone raves about it. A lot of estheticians that use Glymed, which is, I feel like, a lot because it's professional grade skincare. It's awesome. Like humectants are literally so important. And you want to, you know, grab the moisture, unless it's a little different if you live in a place that's, where'd you go? It's a little different if you live in a place that's dry, like Arizona, California, and like the southern bits, because when you're using hyaluronic acid, there's no moisture in the air to like bind it to your skin, so it can create complications. So you would definitely want to be careful with what you use. But if you live in the Midwest region where we do, humidity is like pretty high. There's a lot of moisture in the air. At night I sleep with the humidifier on just because the heat's on, it can dry it out. So you just want to make sure that you're around moisture.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Ingredients. Yeah. I'm like,
yeah,
this is all about tips. I'm like, humidifiers are super important. I sleep with one
especially
all the time.
if you have in the wintertime, your skin gets really dry. Even if you have like oily skin sometimes, your skin can get so dry in the wintertime because you might have a space heater. For me, like I have a space heater in my room. It's always on like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Your skin will dry out from the space heaters and like just the heat being on in general.
Literally. I actually, when I was doing some researching, I saw that you want to stay away from like fireplaces and those types of heaters. You want to be at least like 10 feet, because if you're up really close to it, that like heat is just going to like dry you out, which is no bueno.
Which I'm like a prune now because I'd rather be warm.
Exactly. Same.
No. I need to get a humidifier. So
yeah,
that's
you need
the only thing that can stop me now.
So good. Yes. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the occlusives. So you want to use your humectants, and then after that, you want to use the occlusive. So that's essentially going to be like a protective barrier for your skin. It's going to trap the water in your skin. I feel like a lot of people use occlusives more so at night, but you can use them whenever. And so it keeps the skin plump underneath by using that protective film that prevents water loss. So you'll hear people talk about, sometimes you'll hear the word transepidermal water loss. Occlusives are going to help you prevent that. And that's just moisture escaping from your skin from the inside, and you want to keep that moisture in because you want to stay plump, you want to stay hydrated. You really want that moisture to like get down to your cells, so that'll help your cells at a cellular level. Super important. So you kind of want to think of as your occlusives as, plastic wrapping your food. You keep that food, you want to keep the moisture in, all that heat from like getting damaged and ruined. So it's like plastic wrap for your face.
That's a good way to think of it.
Literally, I'm like, when you put it in those terms, I feel like it's more understandable for people. So two really popular occlusives are jojoba oil and cocoa butter. Like back in the day, you would hear like our grandmothers talking about putting Vaseline on their face. Okay. Make sure you're putting those humectants on and then Vaseline. I'm not going to be against it because some people are for that.
Have great results.
Yeah, it's not for me. I've never tried it.
I couldn't.
I feel like it would get all over the place when you're sleeping. But some people.
Yeah, I have oily skin. I couldn't imagine putting more grease on top of that.
Exactly. For you, it'd be slick show, terrible.
It'd be a mess.
Yeah. But those are occlusives. They're still super important, with creating a healthy barrier, because skin barrier, you don't want to mess that up. So the last thing that I'm going to touch base on are emollients. So emollients are essentially moisturizers that soften and condition your skin, but they don't add moisture. They help repair the skin barrier. So they help improve the appearance of dry patches. So if you have dry skin, these are essential to help you soothe that skin. They're a little bit heavier typically in texture, and sometimes they will have a slight grease or shine to them. But they're really great if you do have like dry skin, mature skin. There are also water-based emollients that don't leave a residue on your skin. Those are best for people who have more normal to oily skin. Some really popular emollients are aloe vera, which you will see in a lot of skincare. They try to promote that they have aloe vera in them because aloe vera is super anti-inflammatory. It's healing. So it's super soothing. It's wonderful. And then shea butter is another one. Aloe vera is going to be more water-based, whereas shea butter is a little bit heavier for those who are a little bit drier. But those are two popular emollients. Two of my favorite are going to be Glymed Pluses. Once again, the rosacea relief. It's
I love that one. Obsessed.
literally so good. We use it in the treatment room all the time. It's literally meant for everybody. It moisturizes the skin. It helps with redness. It helps those who have rosacea. You can literally put it underneath your eyes to help with dark circles too. So
I love that one.
Yeah, I put my mom on it. I got her it for Christmas. It is a little bit more expensive skincare, but like you need to invest in your skin. You only have one skin for the rest of your life. So you might as well take care of it, you know? But I got my mom that for Christmas, and she has really bad rosacea, dilated capillaries, telangiectasia, you know, and that's from like the harsh weathers, harsh hot and cold water that can cause all those dilated capillaries to appear. And I feel like it's really hard sometimes to tame that redness, but she's noticed a significant difference in her skin since she started using it. And the other day I was looking at her, and it's kind of hereditary in my family to have really dark under eye circles. And I was looking at her and I was like, you look different. What's going on? She goes, I've been doing my skincare. And I'm like, I'm so proud of you. And like her under eyes are completely brightened. It's literally crazy. And it just helps with like dehydration in the skin. Like skincare is professional grade skincare when it's tailored to you and your needs and your concerns, and you have a professional helping you, which I am a professional that's helping her. Like skincare goals can be achieved, especially with more mature, like older skin. And she has sensitive skin too. So it's like, it's great for her. And then another one of my favorites, my skincare, it's from Glymed again, and it's the Daily Repair Mega Moisture Cream, and that has shea butter. I use it morning and night now. I don't think it's too heavy at all. I think it's great, super hydrating. I wake up in the morning and my skin, I have it on now, my skin literally feels so soft and plump, and I have dry skin. But this year, I'll tell you what, I did not once experience dry skin. Like I didn't get flaky, except that one time that I used that enzyme that was way too strong for my skin, and I ruined everything and wreaked havoc. But other than that, like I've repaired my barrier now. Like I'm working on like inflammation and all that, and I feel like that moisturizer is literally great. So good. Like maybe not for an oily person, like for you, I don't know how great it would be, but if you have dry skin, which a lot of people do this time of the year, it would be good. Maybe I'll give you like a sample of it so I can see how your skin reacts to it, even though you have like oily skin. That'd be like a nice little experiment to
try. We could try that little. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, and like the thing about these professional grade products is they're all pH balanced, so they're literally great for your skin.
Yeah. So since you kind of talked about that, I want to get into hydration. So everyone knows that they should hydrate. They should drink water. 8 cups a day is, essential. 8 cups. But not only that, like you were saying, the hyaluronic acid, that's going to be great for hydrating your skin because it will pull the moisture from the air. Now, only if, like you said, humid temperatures, humid climates, because there's water in the air, there's moisture in the air to be pulled out. If you live in a drier climate, it's not really going to be as beneficial. So definitely for our area, the Northwest Indiana region and everything that's humid, hyaluronic acid is top tier for sure. Is taking your vitamins. It's not always all about what you put on your skin. It's also you have to put in your body things that's going to benefit your skin. So eating healthy, eating a lot of greens, and also taking vitamins are going to do wonders for your skin. Sometimes you will have I think it was last year, my skin was freaking out. Like the worst it's ever been in my life. And I was trying everything. I was trying like different products. But then I started getting on like vitamins, and I started taking like fish oil and stuff like that, and
Omega
probiotics
so
and like all types of stuff. And I think it helped a lot.
Definitely. There's definitely correlation between, like, people think that like skincare is just like topical. No, like it's
No,
totally
not. There's
internal.
so much more into it.
Literally. Like gut health is super important when it comes to skincare. I know a couple years ago, I had a problem where I was stressed out of my mind. Just wasn't in a good place mentally. And all of a sudden my face started freaking out. Like stress correlation with skincare, you know, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And then when you have gut problems, and then you have leaky gut, and then all of that nonsense in your digestive tract is leaking into the rest of your body, causing inflammation in your skin. Now you don't just have inflammation in your face, the inflammation is everywhere. So you honestly, it might be like TMI, but having like regular bowel movements, it's super important because it's literally releasing the toxin out of your body, and that's what you need. And water, if you're dehydrated, then it's not going to flow like the way it should flow, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Dehydration is like, I think almost one of the biggest like skin concerns, that because people don't know when they're dehydrated. They just think they're dry, but it's completely different. Dehydration and dryness are two different things, and people get them confused and think that they just should moisturize their skin more. And
in fact, they're just dehydrated. And like drink water. And the thing is, a lot of people are like caffeine addicts. Like they're like, oh, give me my coffee, give me my coffee. And for every,
that's me.
I'm like, get the caffeine away from me. But for every cup of coffee you have, you literally need to drink 2 glasses of water to help
level out those.
So like earlier how you were saying, oh, you need 8 glasses of water a day, like, okay, but if you're drinking caffeine, double it,
you need a little bit more.
Exactly. Like people that do like the gallon a day, literally, I feel like they notice a difference in their skin, because that's significantly over what you're supposed to have.
I feel like I always have water bottles because I feel like that's the only way that I'm going to make sure that I'm drinking enough water. I'm not going to go and pour a glass of water, and I'm just going to drink like 1 cup a day. If I have to pour it myself, that's so lazy, but like it helps you like remember when you have them on hand like that. And you can bring them places, you know, it's to go. So you could I always have a water bottle.
So what I started doing is just to try to limit, because I go through water bottles like literally crazy. I go to Costco. It's literally $2.99 for like 40 something water bottles. Like it's a no-brainer. But in order to limit that, because I was spending like a lot of waste in plastic. Like I know some of it's recycled, but still I felt like bad. So what we do now is we get like the gallon jugs, which you've seen me carry in at work. I'll literally drink like the gallon jugs and use that as my water instead. And then I'll pour it into a cup, you know, when I'm at home. Or I also at Costco for like $15, they had these 2 like 1.5 liter jug canister things that I'll use. And I'll carry them around too, like when I'm at work or something.
I actually want to get one of those because I've seen those on Amazon. Like, to make sure that you're using, you're drinking enough water. They have like little, like,
they're cute. Like
8 a.m., 9 a.m. You know, they have that the times on it. So you know that you're drinking enough water.
Because it's super important. Literally, so important. Hydrate.
Use your water.
Use the right skincare.
You can get that from food. Yep. You can get that from your food. You can get that from vitamins. But you want to get it from all of the sources, I think. You don't want to get it from just one source. You have to get it from everything.
Like if you're taking all the vitamins, but your actual diet's trash, it's not beneficial because first of all, that's hard on your liver and your kidneys. Like, are you trying to have failure? No, obviously not. So like you need to have actual sources of protein and food in your diet. And just because you're like a vegetarian or you're just like a paleo diet, you know, keto diet, like with all those fad diets, just make sure you're still hitting those like key, you know,
nutritional tips.
Yes, those key like nutritional points that you need to hit every day.
For sure.
Just really want to be a platform for those who you know don't know where to find that education, because some people don't know these things.
And they're seeing all these TikTok trends and YouTube trends where these beauty influencers are giving them tips that is not good. So we're here to tell you
Help
the
you.
right ways to do things.
Right. Here to help you out. Like, add to the conversation. If you guys have any tips ever, like, let us know. Like, what do you do at home? Like, what tips would you say that we didn't even touch base on that you do that you feel like are worth mentioning? You know, we'll definitely mention it. Maybe not next episode, but we'll definitely get around to it. So yeah. I just thank you guys for listening on another Wednesday for you.
We're so excited to continue this journey with everybody.
But we will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Every Wednesday.
Aesthetic Talk. Do we like that or what?
Yes. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in on your ride home, or if you're just hanging out. Leave a review. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and YouTube and let us know what you want the next conversation to be about. See you next Wednesday.